Hey, what is up, guys? This is Double S here, and I wanted to go over a little bit of a recap of the past 2 days of what's been happening in the zombies community. And it's all coming down to basically how this has become a full assumption amongst me and the entire community of what is definitely going to happen in Revelations, the map. Now, when I first started, I did a video about a month and a half before the release of Black Ops 3. It was a video indicating that the initial poster, the Only the Cursed Survive poster, was a hint that we would be getting 5 remastered maps and a 5th DLC. And that video I actually remade about a month ago, I want to say. And, you know, it got a little bit positive reviews beyond the little small community that I had of 4 or 5 people. It's not a lot, but hey, it works. But anyway, I remade this video of more possibilities that are going to happen, that we're getting these 5 remastered maps. But I stand before you today after watching the last 2 trailers we've got of the Revelation sneak peek and the intro cutscene. We're not getting 5 remastered maps as we think we are. We're getting them, but not as we are. Not the way we're thinking. Let's go over my reasons why. The first reason happens in the first trailer. It's one of the first few images that flashes on the screen at the beginning. You can see what exactly looks like, and I can confirm that this is a Shangri-La Easter egg turn dial thing. I don't know if there was actually a name for it or what, but it's a stone turnstile in Shangri-La. It is definitely what I say it is. Don't try to say it's anything else, because that's what it is. And to back this up, we can go to this next image here, which at first I was, disproving that this was what, everybody said it was. I thought it was just a new area of a new map, but after closely looking at it and going back to play Shangri-La for a little bit, I can confirm this is the stairs to Pack-a-Punch in the starting room of Shangri-La. You got the overgrown vegetation, you got the side of the stairs. The stairs are all run down and whatnot. And then you have the sides of the stairs, the railings made out of stone, and at the top it goes through a straight shot back into the wall. And then you have the square doorway of Shangri-La, of the starting room where Pack-a-Punch would be. This is exactly what it is. The only thing they added was the gates, practically from Shadows of Evil. And maybe that's because instead of like having to open it up, we just have to buy it and go up those stairs to wherever it leads. So that is something to think about right there. Another thing to back this up, in this new trailer here, we have this rock formation teleporting in. At first I didn't know what it was. I believe I quoted it as being possibly no, I didn't quote it to be that. Okay, so anyway, I had no idea what I was looking at, but then after closer examination, I see right here in the center what looks to be the Shangri-La starting room area. We have that long pillar going up. You can kind of see the dragon statue right there, and then you can also see the square doorway to where Pack-a-Punch would be right there. It is Shangri-La starting room. So this entire formation right here is Shangri-La. And to back that up, go back to Comic-Con 2014, I believe, or 2015. Yeah, 2015. And there's a photo of the moon's loading screen remastered or remade even, and Shangri-La is floating through the system, through the galaxy, just like here in the trailer. And then we also have Samantha. She's also looking over Shangri-La from an angle as well. Her shadow was moved from one place to another. So that pretty much confirms that Shangri-La is going to be in the new map in some way. We are going to be able to access We're going to be able to access Shangri-La. That would be amazing, guys. So that's one area that we might be able to get to. An area that I'm saying of 5. The next thing I wanted to go over is one of the next few shots that we saw. Actually, in the next few shots that we see here, there was I think there's a total of 4 that I got. The first one is basically what I coined to be an area of Kino, and sorry again for the side notes. I'm using the same pictures as my first video. So anyway, I coined it as being an area of Kino, in my opinion. Then the photo immediately after that was definitely the chandelier from Kino, the screen from Kino, So all this is from Kino, but it looks like it's from the original Kino in my honest opinion. But then we go further into the trailer to one of the first still settings of what we see Tokyo in an area, and it's clearly a Kino remastered section. We have the theater seats on both sides. We have a zombie barrier in the back that I'm assuming they changed it so we can get to it, because they also have a trap there that we're able to access that wasn't there in the original. If you go a little bit further back, you can see that's where the teddy bear, the box area is, along with the panel behind it that tells you where the box should be. We have the Bowie knife wall by, which, interesting, it is moved. It used to be like a little offset corner of that room, but it was moved, and I don't see Jug in this image either. So they moved the Bowie knife to where the door would be. And that makes me think we're only able to access certain parts of Kino. We can't access the entire thing. And that, is, in my opinion, would be okay. But it all comes down to one final thing that I will go over at the end of this video. The next thing I wanted to go for you guys to see here is the photo of Notch, or the still set of Notch, you know, that we got from the first trailer. And then in the second trailer, we can see that the zombies are able to, they're a Notch. You got zombies of Notch, and they got red eyes. So you know this is a remastered version of Notch. And because the zombies are in there, we are going to be able to see in there or get in there in some way. And what I'm seeing here, from the first initial trailer, I counted this as being in the background behind that pillar as a door that was, or not a door, but as a as the shelving unit next to the door. But I was wrong, because that door is open. That is an open door, in my honest opinion. So that means we're going to be able to access inside the health door, which would be awesome. And then also in the trailer we got today, you can look up the stairs and you can see there is a barricade there. So that tells us we might be able to access the entire Notch-Run Toten area. Everything. That would be phenomenal to see that. The first map, maybe it's where we spawn. The first ever map of zombies could be one of the greatest things they could have put in this map. It would be just so amazing to re-see that. The next thing I wanted to go over real quick, and I'm still kind of recapping everything. We have this photo here of, well, I have a photo. You guys have a little bit of a segment here. And it looks exactly like the Origin trench area. You know, go to generator 1, generator 2, or generator 3. You'd buy one of those doors to 2 or 3, and you'd come to this trench area. Behind you would on one side would be where the fire cave was, and the other way you just, you go along, you get the shield part and all that. So that's what this looks like here. It looks like a good solid, remake of it. And then to further prove that we could be getting a section, and to prove that this could be towards generator 3, is this photo of Nikolai standing in front of a sign that says generator 3. I'm actually able to somewhat place this photo. You can clearly tell that that's the generator 3, he's standing right in front of, where, if you continue a little bit further back, there's the box there, and then on the other side of the box would be where the zombie shield would spawn on top of a man, and then this is the stairway going up to generator 3 right here, and this is the Speed Cola area. So far we actually have 2 perk areas of several different maps, which is pretty cool. And the next thing I kind of want to go over, this might not be in the map at all. This might just be, they're re-promoting something of the old maps. Is we have Drydendraha. We have a redone of the Drydendraha room. And would I say it's a little too early to have this? Not really. I mean, it could just be, maybe there's something of importance in this room that we need, per se. So this is where you would build, I would anyway, build the zombie shield. And this is where one of the dragon's heads would be. We're looking at it from the opposite side of where you would get the wolf bow at. So, so right here down in the left-hand corner, it would be, that's where the void bow would be. So to get a little bit further of what angle we're looking at this at. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now whether this is actually going to be in the map, I would say probably, most likely. We might be able to get a little sneak peek to it. So it's pretty interesting to see that. Another thing I wanted to go over real quick as well was the possibility of Mob of the Dead coming back, because we have these two captures of what looks to be a zombie barrier and a cell house sign, and then also we have this area in which, you know, you have body bags from the ceiling and the chain, and again we have a barbed wire barricade from what it looks like there faintly on the side. So that's a total of, I want to say, 6 maps altogether that we could be getting reiterated into this final map. We have Notch, Kino, we have Shangri-La, we have Origins possibly, or Eisendrache, but technically is in the same game, so we'll take that one away, and we have Mob of the Dead. So that's 5 maps that we could be incorporating into Revelations as a whole, and that's amazing. Now, if you guys want to go back and rewatch my breakdown videos, I urge you to. It has a little bit of information based on those trailers. But I want to go over one final theory of what I have for the entire Revelations DLC. I stated before we would be getting 5 separate maps in the final DLC, whether it be DLC 4 or DLC 5. While my suspicions of having a DLC 5 have gone way down, my suspicions of getting 5 maps in this last DLC have gone up. And as I just confirmed, we have different areas from different maps that we will be seeing. And, you know, to conclude from this, they are going to be incorporated in the final DLC in some way. But what I'm getting from this, and concerning the layout of the leaderboard section of zombies, I'm gathering that if you remember how Transit was laid out, I know we all hate Transit, but listen, Transit was made to where you can play it as several different things. You can play it as one of 3 different maps, or technically 4 different maps, in grief mode, turned, or survival. Those modes could be played, I believe it was survival on bus department, farm, and town. And then diner, you had turned. It's the only one with turned as far as I know from Transit. You could play grief on all of them, I believe. No, you could play grief in town and farm. And then you can have the option of playing the whole map as a whole, Transit. What if that's what's going to happen in Revelations? What if they somehow make it so we can play either the map as a whole, or we can play it as one of the 5 different maps? We can play as Shangri-La, we can play as Notch, we can play in Kino, we could play in possibly Origins or Mob of the Dead. We could play in the entirety of the map. We can play in just the one section of the game. Now, of course, they would probably not have the Easter eggs, but that would be, in my honest opinion, one of the best things that Treyarch could do to make up for everything that they've done wrong, to bring back some of those classics. Now, there might be some things in this trailer that we aren't certain of. Like, for instance, for all we frickin' know, there was a rocket ship in this map, and we're getting Ascension. I haven't seen one, so we're not getting Ascension to my knowledge, but hey, who knows? But who knows what we could be getting this last DLC yet? We haven't seen a full trailer technically. We've only seen the intro cutscene and a sneak peek trailer. We haven't gotten the full trailer featuring the multiplayer maps and the zombies maps. So until we get that, we won't know what's in this entire DLC pack. But I strongly want to believe, and this is getting my hopes up again, just as much as it was before when I said we were just getting the 5 maps for the final DLC. Now that's confirmed, we're only getting 1 map and 4 DLC, or 4 zombies, or 4 multiplayer maps. It doesn't mean that we aren't getting the maps within the map. Because if you remember, when Turned came out, it came out as its own kind of thing. But it wasn't part of the season pass as far as I remember. It's been a while since I've played it, but it came out as a separate expansion for zombies. So maybe DLC 5 could be that separate expansion of those 5 maps, or 6 maps, depending. So that would be amazing to see, guys. If you agree with me, please leave a like down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I didn't bore you to death. But this has been Double S, guys, and I will see you next time.